end of the day, we're also seeing nepotism in terms of appointment. Because when you look at the son-in-law is the president's executive assistant and director of communication, while the daughter is, the personal assistant to the first lady.
Well, I think what Chakwera has done is exactly what's wrong with the African continent. We have people campaign on the promise of, dealing with the tribalism, nepotism, corruption, but once they get there, they forget and do the exact same thing they were campaigning against. I remember when the guy was campaigning for the presidency, he was one of the best candidates in terms of, expressing himself with regard to what he intended to do for Malawians. But you can see what he's done. And obviously, like he says, most of these guys have responsibilities in his administration, which points now to nepotism itself. And that is not just in Malawi. It's replicated in so many parts of the African continent. Even in Kenya here, you'll find some members of the first family working within State House and stuff like that. It's despicable, it's annoying, it's embarrassing, it's shameful. And you realize the guy had 61 members, 61 people he wanted to take to the UK.
But he was only given 10 slots.
Yes, in a conference which was supposed to be virtual. In fact, it was supposed to be done back home in Malawi, but he decided to blame poor internet connection to go all the way to Malawi, and then he makes that mistake of taking his family members. But times have changed, and like in the past, when he could get away with it, he was put on the spot, he was questioned, and he was ashamed. So I think next time we'll know better. Yeah.
And you know what caught my attention in that conversation that he was having there? When he was asked, so you've left your foreign affairs minister, and this is one person who's very, very important when it comes to accompanying the president to foreign countries, because deals are going to be struck. So it just begs the question, so who's going to help the president?
It's unfortunate because, again, the summit was all about education. You could have expected him to carry a delegation of education experts and specialists to go and assist in negotiations and come up with, a better deal and fundraise properly like it was intended to. But he picked members of his family. So you can see someone who does not understand even why he was elected. It's a case of you fight someone when it's there, and then when it's your chance, you decide to eat. So it's his turn to eat.
Yes, it's his turn to eat. Still keeping with that U.S. discussion about the summit that began, it was a two-day summit from the 28th and the 29th, and that is the education summit. And, even the Malawian president says he was invited. Indeed, he was invited by President Uhuru Kenyatta and Borisson, the Prime Minister for UK. So let's talk about that education summit, how important it is for Kenya and other 90 countries that cannot afford to have all learners in school, and especially during this time of COVID-19.
Well, the summit was meant to fundraise for poor countries, especially in Africa, and the aim was to raise around 500 billion, Kenya shillings. And the progress that was made was tremendous. They billion, which means, the mark in raising that money. The money is meant, of course, to, strengthen education systems around the world, in poor countries, to make sure girls can go to school, in countries where, there are no classrooms and girls are not supported through items like sanitary pads and stuff like that, when the textbooks, so that all these people can be able to attend school. So, from where I am, I can say the summit was a success, and I want to congratulate